Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of today's theme. I'd like to share with you guys a personal story. So when I was your age, when I was in grade 9, our version of WhatsApp was Mixit, and our version of Facebook, I'd say, was Instagram. And I don't know if you guys know about Blackberries, but Blackberries were today's iPhones. If you had a Blackberry, you were the coolest. And I remember during that time, I was, whatever I was posting on either Facebook, I don't think we could even share pictures on Mixit. I don't remember, but our Facebook was basically our Instagram, and the content that was shared there, I don't remember it making me feel some sort of pressure, or feeling like I'm not good enough. Because the pressures that I felt when I reflect on them, it was pressures that, just normal peer pressure that I experienced in school. So, just doing things to want to be cool, or doing things that my friends are doing. If there's a party somewhere, wanting to go there or experimenting with things. But it was never, I don't remember feeling it from a social media or external perspective. Obviously external, my friends, was external, but it wasn't on social media. It wasn't as wide as it is today. And I say this because today, when I'm on social media, or let me say as social media started to evolve and your Instagram started to come into play, and content creation started to become a serious thing, and people would get professional, I'm sure you guys can imagine. So I started to notice that when I'm scrolling through social media, firstly, I'm spending a lot of time on social media, just scrolling through. Secondly, I'm following people who I know, some I don't know, some who, some inspire me. But there was a time where, a couple of years ago, where it started to negatively affect me, mentally, emotionally. And I say this because I started to feel feelings of inadequacy. So, feelings of comparison and, kind of comparing my journey. If I saw someone, sharing a highlight or a celebration about they've just bought themselves a car or they're moving into their own place, it started to affect me and I started to question, when am I buying a car? When am I moving into my own place? When am I getting married? Even though I don't have a boyfriend at the time. And so this might seem like it's inspiring or it's encouraging you, or after checking your social media, you start to say, okay, what am I doing? Or even if someone is sharing something just to genuinely inspire. Let's say someone is sharing something that they're doing, a book that they've just released, or they're busy shooting this, or this is happening. Any highlight that someone is sharing, it somehow created this perspective that that's all that's happening in their lives. They don't go through the feelings of inadequacy that I'm going through. They don't go through, genuine challenges, genuine emotional challenges that I might be going through, things that are happening that are not even on social media. And I remember just reflecting and spending time to now look at, okay, what type of content am I consuming? Firstly, why? Why am I following this type of person? Why am I following this type of page? Because after doing that, also taking some breaks from social media to firstly remind myself that social media is not a reality. It's not what life is. It's literally highlights that are people that people are sharing to share with their followers or their loved ones, for whatever reasons. Some are even using social media to grow their brands. And so when you start to compare yourself, you don't even have context of why this person is posting this. Someone maybe is advertising, maybe a wig or advertising, whatever it is, a car, and make it seem like it's theirs. And there you go, comparing yourself, and I don't know if you guys at your age are experiencing this, but these are the realities that, people from all ages and all walks of life can attest to, that social media has at some point in their journeys affected them very negatively. And it's something to, just call out when you see yourself, spending a lot of time in social media and being affected by the content that you consume, because you can be in control of what you consume. So speaking of content, when I was in university, I discovered a platform called LinkedIn, which is a platform for professionals. So anyone who is running a business or working in a corporate industry, or just anything that you are doing towards your career, whichever career that you're in, people share content there and they connect and they network with people, meet new people there, obviously for career purposes. You find mentors there. And when I was in university, like I've shared previously, I joined, I started getting active in organizations with friends when I started joining at Toastmasters and, joining Raw Leadership and just putting my skills and my gifts out there and exercising them. And one thing that I did, without even realizing, I started sharing content on platforms like LinkedIn, and I started, sharing on Facebook and Instagram. And through that, my brand was growing, and I wasn't even conscious that I'm building my brand. I was genuinely just sharing things that I enjoy, things that I'm currently doing with my friends, obviously for a greater reach, to make people aware of what we're doing. Sometimes maybe we would run a fundraiser, and obviously, you put it on social media to get a far wider reach and get people's attention to assist in whatever it is that you are working on. And I remember, as I was putting the content out there, even my interest in health and fitness, my grandfather raised us with my cousins to, be aware of our health and be, health conscious and to be healthy, not in a strict way, but just, he instilled values in us of, eating healthy and exercising regularly. So when I was in university, shortly after my grandfather passed away, I started doing the things that he had taught us. I started practicing them, while I was at Res. I would, go for a jog. I even, joined the university gym. I would share content about, smoothies or eating healthy and, anything that he taught me. And I would share this, I'd share this with people. Obviously having seen that when I share something, someone says, oh my goodness, could I get the recipe, or please help me with my fitness journey or whatever. But ultimately, like I said, I was not aware that I was building my brand. And I'm touching specifically on LinkedIn because it's a platform for professionals. Remember, I wasn't even employed at the time. I was just sharing, things that were content that was obviously aligned with what LinkedIn is all about. And that's how I'm actually standing in front of you. That is how, I also discovered Junior Taki and how I discovered Raw Leadership. That is how, Fadi and I got to engage, and he, called me into, joining his organization, and, our values obviously aligned. And I'm very happy to, to share with you guys that is one of the positive things about social media. When you share things that that you believe in, content that is true to you, content that, or even engaging or consuming content that is specifically related to the career path that you want to pursue. And so it's important because now, obviously, me in hindsight, when I was sharing content, I wasn't aware that I'm building a brand. Only when I look back, I'm like, shucks, wow, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I put content out there that is related to my gifts. And so now that you guys are aware, I'm sure you're even more aware about information when it comes to building your brand or aligning your brand with your social media content, with your social media platforms. You can now actually implement that and be aware about it and start to align, what it is that you want to become with what it is that you share with the public or the world. So remember, using social media platforms can be fun, it can be great, it can be amazing, obviously when you're careful. And also, it can allow you to reach people that you never ever imagined of reaching, inspiring people that you never get to meet. And that's the beauty of social media. Join me in our third part of today's theme as we wrap up.